Okay, so there you go, dinner for tonight. We're gonna find out how good this came out. As you saw, I did kind of overdo one side of it there, but I decided to just go ahead and finish this thing off in the pan since it was a fairly thin chop. It was a pork loin chop, by the way, maybe a little over half an inch, less than 3/4 of an inch. I ended up doing it about 4 minutes on each side, and then the second side I kept it on there until the temperature reading was going up to near to 140, because I know it goes up a little higher afterwards, so I pulled it off at 140. So that added maybe another minute. And I seasoned it with the flour, the salt, and the pepper, and now we'll see what we have. Okay, there we go. It looks pretty good inside. Hmm. Hmm. Good. I don't think the flour is adding anything. I'm going to do the. You notice I left one of them out. I only did one because I figured I'd see how this came out and then do the other one differently if needed be. And I think I'm going to. I think I'm just going to go with salt and pepper on that one and leave the flour out. The flour isn't really helping. Oh, one other thing. On one side being cooked okay and the other side being kind of burned, I think those cast iron skillets take a lot longer to heat up to retain temperature than, obviously than a regular skillet. And so I think this thing was like half through the cooking cycle before that had really attained full temperature. So, this was probably cooked from like 280 gently on up to 355. So next time I'll let that skillet warm up for, I don't know, I guess 15 minutes or something before I dare go near it. But that was a problem. I noticed as soon as I put it in the first time, I knew it wasn't up to full temperature. And by the time I took it off, it clearly was. So little note there on that cast iron stuff. If somebody's got some comments there on how long you got to let that heat up on an electric hot plate, that one of them ones that only does magnetic cooking or something, or in general, that would help. Thank you. Oh, two more notes. For those who are going to say I should have used breadcrumbs, I've tried gluten-free breadcrumbs and they're horrible. They're very large, they don't stick well, and the taste is not good. Okay, so breadcrumbs are out. And what was the other thing? There was some. Oh, this is quite edible, but it's a lot tougher than when I did my pork loins, and I think the pan frying is responsible for that. I might try baking the next one. Maybe sear and bake. Maybe get a real hot pan, sear it up fast, like in under a minute, and then bake it for 5 or so, because it's a much tougher piece of meat, and I don't think it should be this much tougher. I think that was in the cooking. I didn't go beyond temperature. It's not overcooked. You can see it's still white, but it's tougher. So I think baking might be better for the tenderness. But still edible. Phase 2. Hi, I'm back. I decided with the second one, I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot. Go at it with the air fryer. Why not? I got the thing. Give it a shot. I looked up in the book and there was nothing in there, but I looked what it said to do with the steak. So I'm sort of going off of that. So I rubbed it with a little bit of oil, put a lot of salt and pepper on it, and preheated this thing to 360. And I'm cooking it. I'm starting it with 5 minutes on one side, then I'm going to flip it, or I'm going to see what it looks like at that point. So we're having a shot at it with the air fryer, and we'll see how that comes out. Okay, so this ended up being in for 5 minutes on the side, then 2 minutes, then 2 minutes, then another 4 minutes, and another couple minutes. Had a heck of a time getting it up to 145, but I don't know if I'm taking the temperature right or whatever, but it looks good, it smells good, but now I fear it's probably overcooked. This is round 2, phase 2, pork loin chop or boneless pork chop in the air fryer with oil, salt, and pepper. So we've got some nice white meat, and you see it's got a nice color to it. And oh boy, I really overdo it with the salt. Okay. It's pretty much just as tough, but definitely better without the flour. Probably did a little too much salt, and I probably overcooked it. But, you know, I'll get better with these things. Anyway, edible. Works in the air fryer. I just threw it in there and then flipped it and threw it in again. So if I worked the time out on that just right. You remember how long it took me to get that steak just right. So there we go. Okay? End of part 2. Happy day to you twice. Second time. Bye. And thanks to Pam for the extra help.